Hello, I'm Paul Roberts. This is Conscious Counseling 101, and this is responding directly to your request for a video on the letter that you sent in. So I won't read the whole letter because it's a long letter for the video. You have finished closure on a 16-year relationship. You thought it was the love of your life. The person had narcissistic qualities and just wasn't good for you and didn't care enough to keep it going, I'm assuming. And you're feeling like you don't have someone, a friend, since your life has really felt to you like it's like a bomb blowing it up. You say that you had strong spiritual belief. That was the foundation that gave you the courage and understanding to get through it all. That's great. But you would also like to not feel alone, that somebody else can be there for you, to bounce ideas off. Hey, it's important, right? It's important to have that, and I know it is. And you just simply ask, if you have the time, a supportive ear, wise advice would be appreciated. Okay, well, I do. Now, who am I? Let's start off by that. First off, I'm someone that makes myself available to you. I'm someone you can call a friend, even though you don't know me. I'm someone that doesn't charge. I just put myself out there genuinely wanting to help anybody that might want help. Why, you might ask, do I do this? And what credentials might I have that you would even listen to anything I say? All right, so I'm going to sum this up, and then we're going to get on to talking about what you're talking about. My credentials are these. I have come to the point, I look like a regular guy, don't I? I don't look like a, whatever I'm supposed to look like. I'm a regular guy. I'm 55 years old. I've been married 31 years. I have a balanced life and always have. Even though I struggle every day, as I know you do, to deal with the problems that the world has and work on my convictions and be strong and well-balanced and founded. And because I do this, and I have had a long road and raising children too, almost adults, I guess you could say one is, I realize that I'm in the minority of people that have things together enough, at least in a cohesive way that people look at and say, oh, well, I can probably listen to him because he's got things together. Now, you have people that have certifications, which I don't. I'm just a person. And they're up on the wall and their credentials, and they want to, or maybe self-help people, try to make you think they're great, and they want to sell you something, and so they got to put on the tough sell, and they got to say, look how great I am, and have faith and confidence in me. No, I'm just a regular person. So let's start off by saying that. And I don't propose to be anything more. But what do you and your words say? Sounds to me like you're looking for someone that just cares, that can just be there for you, that can just be a friend, and can be just a regular person. So I'm glad that I hope that I meet with your credentials. But what about me personally? I'm a heightened conscious individual that has spent my life thinking about, analyzing as an artist, which I am, the most crucial elements of our conscious understanding that we can have. Even though we can't know anything beyond ourselves and our situation, we can surmise that there's more. We can reach out and think that there may be more, even in the non-eternal or the spiritual realm, as you suggest. That's all we've got, is each other, physical things we're dealing with, and the hope of something more that might help guide us or be there with us if we don't have anybody. But you do have somebody, you have me. Now, what can I tell you? Here's what I can tell you. What do I have that you probably have enough to get you through this, but you maybe need more of? I have a conviction in things that can't be seen, so much so that I don't require any outside effect in order to make me strong and get me through something. You must have that too, even though you've asked and you'd like to have a friend. You must have that too, or you wouldn't have made it this far. Let me tell you about what my conviction is. I've heard you. I have a supportive ear. My conviction comes from this. I know that I don't know anything. My spiritual journey has shown me that I have a great deal of faith in a lot of things, probably like you do, but I know that I can't know it. Now, what strength does that give me? That gives me the strength to tell you that I know that because I can't know it, and I value my intelligence and my conscious understanding of things and my awareness, because I can't know it, I know that others can't know it. This gives me incredible strength and power, as I'm sure it does you, even if you haven't put those labels on it. I go to the trouble of doing Conscious Counseling 101 and calling it perspective counseling and putting those labels on things so that I can be effective. So, talking now directly to your points. What did you go down a road towards? You went down a road towards hope, of companionship that will elevate you and give you something that's more than you have on your own. But unfortunately, you saw that the material that that person had wasn't valuable like you originally had thought. What can you do right now that's going to make you stronger to live this out, to rebuild, to have the solidity that you need to have hope and vision for your future in this volatile world that we live in? I talk about perspective counseling. And for this short video that I'm going to do here, we're going to keep it generic and simple. And if you think that anything I have to say merits further talking, know that I'll be there for you. But let's keep it simple and to the point. What you will need to do is come to grips with someone to bounce your ideas off of, like me, that the perspective that you need to have is that you don't need anything else. You need to be 100% self-sufficient. And any of your emotions that made you think you needed to reach out for somebody that later turned out to be not worth your time and not worth all the effort that you gave, this is what you have to do. You have to become completely self-sufficient and know that you don't know. And so empower yourself, because no one else knows. No one, including me, can give you anything. Even you can't give yourself anything other than the knowing that you don't know. But by that, you can become so strong and self-sufficient that you won't go running at anything and with hope that's blind, that will eventually, when it catches up to you, blindside you and make you in the situation you're in now again. You have to understand that the thing that caused this can't be replicated. You can't allow it to. You have to understand that the thing that caused this was that you felt you were in need, and someone was going to give you something you couldn't have on your own, and you embraced it through love, through codependency, through believing the fantasy tales that you've heard, through movies and songs and poems, and your belief that others are doing it, or at least it appears they are. You should be able to do it too. You're a worthy person. And I'm sure you are, because they've gotten through this. But the next step that a person like me will help you with is to say, now you need to see the reward of getting through this. You need to have the perspective of, why did you get through this? You need to go back and relearn why you went into it. You need to go back and see you have to become something more than you were then, to evaluate what you did and learn from your mistakes and failures, even though your failures were probably emotionally and mentally and giving-wise not failures. You probably did give more. That's great. But you have to understand that we're living in an imperfect world, and even at your best, you are not 100% conscious. You were not 100% consciously aware of what you were doing and the overall outcome, even with your spiritual growth. So what you need to do now is you need to realize that you, with help of me and maybe others that may also support you, I hope that you'll find others, you need to find so much strength and self-value and be honest with yourself. Because if you can't be honest with yourself, I can't help you, and neither can you, and nobody can. You need to see your failures and call them exactly what they are, and don't ever have any chance of that happening again. You need to be so strong that you don't have a need. And you can live like that forever if you need to. But if you can make that happen, and you can be happy living like that forever, if you should happen to take notice of a worthy individual that may also give you something more, but not out of need, just out of worthwhile quality, you can make yourself available to them and perhaps have even more happiness, or a more diverse happiness. But the only way that can happen is for you to first have what I'm talking about now, and then fate or luck or genuine attraction. Because if you have these exemplary qualities, anybody that sees anything positive in you will most likely be of this. And because you won't stretch your hand out to anybody that's less than what you deserve, you won't welcome anybody in your life that's anything less. And so the only people that will be attracted to you will be ones that recognize these great qualities that you're already well aware of now, I think, that you've, and hopefully you will be more with talking to me and just thinking about these things, that you'll never be led down this path again in the way that you were. This will help you now and forever. And if another opportunity comes, it will most likely be a good one for you. But more importantly, you won't reach out in desperation and need, but only take hold of the joy that comes to you, that's worthy of you. That's a balanced life. That's what I do. With my perspective counseling of myself, I've maintained that balanced view all the days of my life once I came into consciousness after being a child, and I offer it freely to anyone because I know it works, and I know it's substantial. Now, let's talk about religion for a second. You talked about spirituality. A lot of people get really, oh, let's touchy. Oh, we get into religion and the labels that implies. Let's just say, religiously or spiritually, you believe that any merit to anything I'm saying right now might be possible. Do it because it makes sense and you are welcoming of it because you need to go higher. That's the one thing you do have a need of, but that's for yourself, so it's okay. You need to go higher. You need to have strength. You need to have belief and conviction that you don't know, but you operate on faith and virtue of quality things that come out of your heart and your soul and your mind. And so therefore you will only welcome in things that are as virtuous as you, and you'll be able to come to recognize them better. That's all you need to know. You don't have to say right now while you're working at that whether God caused it. You could say right now, you don't know. But it makes sense that what I'm saying here would make sense, and you embrace it. It makes you stronger talking to a friend like me. At the end, when you have reached your goals, and you no longer have need, and you have strength and self-value, only then can you choose to apply whatever label you think fits well to what's been able to be shared with you, what's been able to have shown that goes through your filter and is welcomed by you because it's valuable enough. Only then can you take a label and say, well, this is why I think this happened. And I don't need to know that. Only you do. If anything I say here has even a tidbit of helpfulness, at least to think on, write back and say thank you. I will think about those things. And if I have any other thing I think you could speak to, I'll give you another email and we can talk more. I only wish to give you hope in yourself and strength that you can stand on through conscious understanding. And the reason why it's strong is because you produce it. You have no needs outside of yourself. You don't believe anybody has something that you don't have. Even what I'm saying to you right now, you should already be aware of. And you just needed another friend to give you a bump up. That's all I should be. You don't follow me. You don't care about me. You just simply say, another soul took the time to say what I already thought. I'll be stronger on it now. And I know he's there if I ask. And if that's the case, I've done all that I can, and the ball is in your court. Go. Have confidence to consciously counsel yourself and make yourself your own person and be whatever you're capable of being. And that lies within the realm of creativity and imagination. Who knows what the limits of that are? I'm Paul Roberts. This is Conscious Counseling 101.